It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. When anger rises, think of the consequences. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. It is easy to hate and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. Study the past, if you would divine the future. Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. Old age, believe me, is a good and pleasant thing. It is true you are gently shouldered off the stage, but then you are given such a comfortable front stall as spectator. You cannot open a book without learning something. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. The cautious seldom err. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. I hear, I know. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. Heaven means to be one with God. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. I want you to be everything that's you, deep at the center of your being. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the 3 universally recognized moral qualities of men. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. The object of the superior man is truth. The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage or of principle. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? If we don't know life, how can we know death? The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his action. Death and life have their determined appointments. Riches and honors depend upon heaven. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. Virtuous people often revenge themselves for the constraints to which they submit by the boredom which they inspire. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. If you look into your own heart and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? What is there to fear? Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. They must often change, who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short.